there's no way ever binging on anything is ever going to help you. But drugs and alcohol have an almost immediate and disastrous effect on your mental health. It can be cataclysmic. I was doing a lot of drugs and drinking a lot, and I've always had like addiction tendencies and troubles in my life since I was 16. I think I was a full-time smoker. Everybody became really worried about my state of mind, about my patterns. We'd also just lost a friend a couple of years ago, and apparently I was showing signs, behaviors like he was. I was living in Melbourne. I still live in Melbourne, but I guess that at that point, we're talking about I'm living in Melbourne. I'm experiencing like 3 years of like total lockdown. Like the city, I can't fly out anywhere, I can't do anything. And this is the longest I've ever been in the country since I was 18. I can't explain it. It was like my soul was dying. It's just because like that I thrive off traveling, like, and just talking to people and meeting people and experiences, like good or bad. I love them. So doing the same thing every day was like really starting to genuinely, like, it was crushing me, it was killing me. And that on top of kind of like watching my career just go down the toilet, that was pretty bad too. 10 years of your life, and I was starting to think, I was rounding up my life. I'm gonna be 30 now, and I've just spent 10 years on something that is just being evaporating in front of my eyes. But more so, I was just being trapped. And I started drinking a lot, and then I was I was going out on Monday nights and not coming home until Thursday, and not sleeping at all, like drinking and taking Xanax and doing cocaine and just driving myself into the ground. I went to my GP a couple of years ago now, where I wanted to, I wasn't sleeping. And she said, before I put you on sleep medication, I want to see why it is that you're not sleeping. And I was like, every time I go to bed and it's me in my head alone, it's painful. I relive everything, and she was like, oh, that sounds like you can't sleep because of mental health. And I was like, yeah, it's too scary to be alone. So she sent me to a psych, and after a little while of meeting with that psych, she told me there was nothing wrong with me. She sent me home. So I just never went back to her, and then I kind of let it go. I knew there was something wrong then. I knew there was something, like I knew she wasn't right, because I knew, like, everyone else can sleep. You know what I mean? Like, everyone can close their eyes and go to sleep, and I was doing like 2-3 days at a time. And I think it's because of my tattoos and stuff, and she was like an older lady. I think she thought I was looking for drugs. Which I don't blame her, because like in any other situation I probably would have been, so like it makes sense. But I was just like so like, like, whoa, shit, like she said there's nothing wrong with me, and then hearing that from a health professional, it's pretty intense. My initial thing was like, oh, no, there is something wrong with me, but then later I was kind of like, shit, maybe, but then no, obviously I needed help. I was hurt because I just shared all of this like gnarly shit with her, like about my life. And she's like, well, there's nothing wrong. And it was so brash. And she's like, so what do you want? Like, so I was really hurt in the first place. And then a little lost, because I'd spent so much time going to the doctor and going to see this woman. And I was like, I was afraid for me at that point. Because if you can't sleep, and your head noise just triples and doubles, and it's growing exponentially every second you don't sleep, because you need to sleep to repair, to organize your thoughts. So I started to go crazy, and I was like, insomnia is not a joke, man. That's scary. Like, people go like, oh, I've got insomnia. It's like, nah. If you don't sleep for a few days, like, you start to lose your mind. Like, you're losing your mind. And that was terrifying. I broke up with my girlfriend, Bianca, and I went missing for another couple of days. And everyone thought that was it. Everyone thought that I was, that something would happen to me. So that was the signs. I'm back with Bianca now, and she took me back. Thank God. And yeah, we've just been trying to work it out. If I could tell myself one thing, it would be pretty aggressive, to be honest with you. It would just be like, wake the fuck up, like, go and see somebody. Like, it's not even a big deal. Just go and talk to someone, because you feel like shit. And I wasted so much of my 20s destroying myself on purpose because I was too afraid to kill myself. And I spent that whole time hurting myself on purpose by drinking and drugs and not sleeping and just constantly. That's, yuck. When I think about it, it's fucking terrible. But I spent all that time doing that and thinking that that's how everybody is. And it's not, it's just take the step. And it is easy. People go, it's not easy, and sometimes it's hard. Like, compared to how you're feeling, your parents having to bury you, you know what I mean? Compared to that, it's incredibly fucking easy. Go and talk to somebody. I can't leave again.